David hasn't sat in an interview chair since 2034. The hiring manager is 12 years younger than him. On the desk between them, a printed resume shows 23 years of marketing work, 3 promotions, and 1 layoff. The manager asks where David sees himself in 5 years. David thinks about his 401k balance, $47,300. He thinks about the property tax notice on his kitchen counter. He thinks about the $500 he has deposited every month since 2036, and how it still wasn't enough to buy him a choice. He looks at the manager's nameplate. He gives the answer they want to hear. The truth is, he already knows how this ends. He has seen this scene before. He just never thought he would be the one sitting in this seat. He never thought the system he failed to build would be the reason he needed the job. June 2026. Marcus, David, and Tyler walk out of the same state university with the same finance degree, the same $32,000 in student debt, and the same starting salary of $51,000 at firms 3 blocks apart in Indianapolis. They split a farewell pizza. They have identical apartments, identical laptops, identical debt minimums, identical futures on paper. On Monday, Marcus opens a brokerage account on his lunch break and sets an automatic transfer for the 3rd of every month. Tyler signs a lease for a new Jeep Wrangler with a $410 monthly payment. David does neither. He tells himself he will get to it after the first promotion. The first month passes. Then the second. By December, Marcus has deposited $1,200. Tyler has made 6 Jeep payments. David has told himself the same sentence 6 times. The machine has not been built. The parts are still in the box. The manual is unopened. Marcus sends $200 to a broad market index fund on the 3rd of every month. His studio has water pressure that sounds like a dying compressor. He rotates 4 meals. At 24, in 2028, his account reads $5,400. The market corrects 18% in March. His balance drops to $4,300. He checks it once, then closes the app. The deposit runs anyway. Tyler's Wrangler is now worth half what he owes. He drives it to the same job, pays the same insurance, burns the same gas. The check engine light has been on for 4 months. David rents a 1-bedroom with a balcony. He orders delivery 3 nights a week. He subscribes to 3 streaming services and a gym he visits twice. No system is constructed. At 26, in 2030, Marcus has $8,800. Tyler refinances his car to lower the payment. David gets a raise to $56,000 and buys a sectional sofa on a payment plan. The sofa costs $2,400. He will finish paying for it in 2033. Calculator moment. Marcus is 27. It is 2031. He opens his banking app and toggles between his checking account and his brokerage. He has never added the numbers before. $200 times 60 months equals $12,000 deposited, but the balance reads $15,200. He stares at the $3,200 gap. It is the first time he realizes the machine is working while he sleeps. He feels nothing emotional. He feels the click of a gear engaging. He closes the app and walks back to his shift. The next morning, he increases his transfer to $250. The system is upgrading itself. Tyler is 28. He meets David for drinks in 2034. David just got engaged. They're talking about rent increases. Tyler says, "I'm living paycheck to paycheck, man." David says, "Same. I don't know where it goes." Neither of them knows that Marcus, who still wears the same shoes from graduation, just crossed $26,000. The market returned 16% that year. Marcus didn't notice. The deposit hit on the 3rd of every month like a piston cycle. The machine does not require attention to function. It only requires fuel. The fuel is boring. The fuel is invisible. The fuel is $250 that Marcus never saw in his checking account. Age 30. December 2034. Marcus, $34,600. Tyler, $1,400 in a savings account. Then a $950 dental bill wipes it. David, $7,200 in a 401k he forgot he had from a job he left in 2028. He rolled it over once, then stopped looking. Same decade. Same starting salary. Same city. Different architecture. Marcus built a foundation. Tyler built a payment history. David built a living room. 2036. David's daughter is born. He makes $71,000 now. At 2 a.m., feeding her. He scrolls LinkedIn and sees Marcus post about closing on a duplex. He clicks to Marcus's profile. He remembers them splitting pictures in 2026, complaining about student debt, talking about the future like it was a destination instead of a construction site. He opens a brokerage account that morning. He sets it for $500 a month. He feels the acceleration. He is catching up. The deposit hits on the first of every month now. He has built the machine. He just built it 10 years late. His wife thinks they are finally getting ahead. David does not tell her about the decade of missing deposits. He does not tell her that catching up is not the same as starting. Marcus, 32, is still depositing $250. The account is now $58,000. David deposits $500. The gap should close. But the math is mechanical. Marcus's $58,000 earns 7% in a flat year, $4,060 in gains alone. That's $338 a month in passive motion, untaxed, untouched. David deposits $500, but his starting balance is zero. The first year, David adds $6,000. Marcus adds $3,000 in deposits, but the machine adds another $4,200. The gap widens by $300. David works harder. The machine works longer. Time is the variable he cannot buy. He cannot buy it with effort. He cannot buy it with shame. He cannot buy it with $500 bills. Shame snapshot. Tyler is 34. It is 2038. His girlfriend wants to talk about moving in together. She asks, casually, how much he has saved. He laughs. Then he opens his banking app and shows her. $380. The screen glows between them. She doesn't say anything. The silence is worse than anger. He closes the phone. The next day, he opens a savings account with $50. He doesn't deposit again for 4 months. The machine was never constructed. There is nothing to break. There is only empty floor space where the engine should be. The garage is clean. The garage is useless. Marcus is 35. His father needs an in-home caretaker. He writes a check for $19,000 from a liquid account he built alongside the brokerage. The money leaves. The deposits continue. By 37, in 2041, the machine has refilled the gap. David, 37, has $41,000. He feels solid. Then his transmission fails. He withdraws $4,000. The penalty and taxes take another $1,200. He rebuilds over 8 months. The machine stalls every time he interrupts it. He is learning that a system with missing bolts cannot run at full capacity. Every withdrawal is a wrench thrown into the gears. Age 39. December 2043. Marcus, $128,000. David, $76,000. Tyler, $2,800 in a checking account that he keeps as a buffer against overdrafts. David has deposited more raw cash in 3 years than Marcus deposited in 7. The machine doesn't care about effort. It cares about sequence. It cares about which piston started firing first. David's engine is larger, but Marcus's engine has been running for a decade. The machine doesn't care about fairness. It cares about time. 2046. Marcus buys a second duplex in a neighborhood he watched for 6 years. He pays cash for a $26,000 HVAC replacement. He doesn't feel rich. He feels the same as he did at 24, eating the same 4 meals, wearing the same jacket. The difference is the system underneath him now has $214,000 in working capital, spinning off dividends, interest, and net rent. At 44, in 2048, he crosses $268,000. The machine doesn't celebrate. It shifts to a higher gear. Gains alone are now averaging $1,600 a month. His original $200 deposits are becoming irrelevant. The machine is self-sustaining. He could stop depositing tomorrow and the number would still climb. The operator has become optional. David is 44. It is 2048. He has $148,000. He has been depositing $500 for 12 years. He has never missed a month since 2036. He should feel solid. But his daughter needs braces. His wife wants to visit her sister in Madrid. He feels the money is already spoken for. He looks at Marcus's number, which he saw accidentally in a group text about a college reunion. The gap is 6 figures. He sits with a calculator at 11 p.m. He adds up everything he has deposited, $72,000. The machine added the other $76,000. He thinks about what that number would be if he had started the piston in 2026 instead of 2036. He doesn't finish the calculation. He already knows. The empty feeling isn't jealousy. It is the realization that his machine will always be a smaller model. It will always run at half speed. Tyler is 45. He makes $78,000 as a regional logistics manager. He rents the same apartment he got at 32. His Jeep is long gone, repossessed in 2031. He drives a Civic with 160,000 miles. He is not poor. He is not broken. He just never built the machine. He looks at his pay stub. The government takes 22%. His landlord takes 30%. His student loans, still, take 6%. What remains is his. He spends it on delivery, on streaming, on the same small comforts that David and Marcus also enjoy. The difference is invisible until it isn't. The machine was never constructed. There is nothing to show. There is only the ongoing present, repeating. There is only the next bill, the next shift, the next month. The three of them are at a mutual friend's 50th birthday in 2050. David says, "We're thinking of refinancing to pull out equity for the kitchen." Marcus says, "I used a cash-out refi on the third property last year. Rate was 4.5%. Tyler says, "I'm thinking of moving to a place with a pool." They all nod. None of them mention the real numbers. But David watches Marcus order another round without checking his phone. He watches Tyler check his balance before adding a tip. He watches himself calculate the split 3 times. The gap is visible in the gestures. It is visible in who picks up the menu first. It is visible in who asks for the check last. 2054, David's company downsizes without warning. He gets 6 months of severance. He has $328,000 in the brokerage. It is not enough to stop, but it is enough to breathe. He takes a contract role for $48,000. The $500 deposit stop. The machine keeps running. He realizes, for the first time, that the money works even when he doesn't. But the number still feels fragile. He calculates his withdrawal rate. 4% is $13,120 a year. He can't retire. He can only slow down. He thinks about the interview he will have at 55 if this contract ends. He thinks about the 22-year-old who will sit across from him. He thinks about the nameplate he will read. He thinks about the answer he will give. Marcus has $648,000 in invested assets and 3 properties free and clear. He hasn't made a deposit in 2 years. The system pays him $4,100 a month in dividends, interest, and net rent. He took a job teaching high school shop because he wanted to. His paycheck is $3,400 a month. He doesn't need it. He deposits it anyway. The machine accelerates. He is no longer the architect of his wealth. He is the maintenance technician, watching the system outperform the operator. He teaches teenagers how to use a lathe. He never tells them about the brokerage account. He doesn't need to. The machine speaks louder than words. Closing emptiness. Tyler makes $84,000. His rent went up 45% in 8 years. He has $12,000 in savings. He will work until he is told to stop. There is no alternative architecture. He drives past a billboard for retirement planning. He doesn't look. The empty feeling isn't despair. It's the absence of structure. He spent 30 years building a life without a foundation. The rooms are furnished. The ground underneath is flat. He never made the choice to build. The choice was made for him, by default, 1 month at a time. He kept the lights on. He kept the car running. He kept the rent paid. That was the entire blueprint. I don't tell you who to be. I build systems. Marcus, David, and Tyler started with the same materials. Same degree. Same salary. Same debt. Same city. The only variable was when the first deposit hit. The market doesn't care about intention. It doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't care who deserves what. It cares about sequence, rate, and time. The blueprint is free. The parts are available. The machine runs whether you watch it or not. There is no moral to this story. Only math. Only mechanics. Only the clock. The system is built. The rest is timing.